much more about revenue.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You're very, very right.
Right. And so when you look at some of these AI projects, how long does it typically take you to set up any new initiative?
I think I have learned a lot in the beginning. It was very, I mean, we use an approach called MVP approach, right? We try to test the concept as soon as possible. So we do like a month or let's say a month POC. That's basically creates an MVP and we test the concept, right? So we basically use some very small set of data, try to train a model and try to see if the results are good enough for exploring an evolution, right? The problem in the beginning, we thought we were going to do the POCs in 1 month, but we were taking like 3 months because the data was not ready, we couldn't do, and then, I mean, there are many issues. I think we improved it consistently along the way, and now we can say we can do a POC in 1 month, and if it's proven the case, we need like 3 or 4 months more to implement solutions for a specific case. That's what we are taking normally. Sometimes if the model is very complex and needs more training, it can take longer because the training, you need more data to train the model, so it can take 6 months, 8 months.
And then these models, it's basically you are creating these custom models. There's nothing available which is standard for maybe for CPG like this, for this situation, use this model. There's nothing like that out there.
No, yeah, the algorithms are available, of course, but we use statistical algorithms and then we need to tune that on our deep neural networks. Like we need to tune because the results are not giving the results we expected. So we put more data and when we find more problems, we tweak again and we turn again. So there's a lot of tuning to happen. And then the tuning is actually the key proprietary knowledge that we create, right? How to tune a network to give the right results, basically.
Oh, I see. So, like, even if you start with a standard model, the tuning is what makes it very relevant to your specific business.
Exactly.
Interesting, very interesting. And so you said, so 3 to 4 months, and then after that it's ready. And I'm assuming now that your data lake is ready, it's much probably like that's one of the other reasons it's very easier for you to get started.
Yeah, I have created all the automation for testing, for validation, for training of the data. So everything now is more automated. So things get easier and simpler along the way, for sure.
And then as your data sources change, let's say you have new data sources coming up and other changes happening, do you also spend time updating these, like the labels you've created and data sets?
Everything.
Or is that more automated?
And depends on how different or how important is the data I'm loading, the new data. I have to reprocess the whole thing. I have to retag everything, relabel everything. So it could take a lot of processing power. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not automated. You need to do that.
Yeah, it's no, I mean the reprocessing is automated, but I need to decide if I want to reprocess or not. So it's my decision. So I have to, because if the data is not really very different than before, there's no really sense on retagging everything, right?
Okay, I see. Okay, and if it's a new data that's coming, it just takes over the format that you've already created, I guess, and then gets stored.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. And then, like, as you see maybe like next 2 to 3 years, do you see maybe your company working on just continuing to work on similar AI related initiatives, or do you think it's going to maybe evolve or become something different? I was just curious if you had any insights there.
No, I think it will continue like that. What is happening though is that the offers, like even for Google, they are creating some things really like they want to make artificial intelligence very simple to every company. So they're creating more and more tools that are making things simpler. For instance, Google has something called Auto ML, Auto Machine Learning. That basically they do most of the work, the initial work for you. You give them the data and they bring you the tuning automatically. They do all the stuff automatically. Of course, it doesn't work for everything, but it helps a lot. I think the evolution of these things will make AI very much like a machine, like an engine that actually you run to get the data and then you process things more. We're going to have more bundle ready to use kind of solutions, I think. That's my feeling.
Actually, that's a great point. I was just, so in terms of like where your data lives, it